Welcome to Beat by Beat, where your favorite games are reborn as immersive audio adventures. Today, we journey to the skies above Baron, where a dark knight begins to question the kingdom he serves. They called them the Red Wings, Baron's pride, a fleet of airships that ruled the skies with fire and thunder. Once symbols of progress and might, they'd become something darker, instruments of conquest, carriers of guilt. Cecil Harvey stood at the helm of the lead vessel, a black, caped figure clad in obsidian armor. The wind howled around him as the fleet sailed through clouds lit by moonlight. Below, the people of Mycedia burned faintly in memory.
"We shouldn't have taken the crystal,"
said Biggs, one of his lieutenants.
"It wasn't right,"
Wedge added.
"Those mages never stood a chance."
Cecil's gloved hand clenched the wheel. He didn't answer. He didn't need to. He felt it too. The sickness in his gut, the weight pressing against his breastplate. Mycedia had been peaceful. They hadn't fought back. And yet, under royal orders, the Red Wings had taken their sacred water crystal by force. A sudden shriek pierced the air. Monsters, sky fiends with wings like razors, descended from the storm. The Red Wings scrambled into battle, manning cannons and casting fireballs into the dark. Cecil unsheathed his sword, its edge glinting as he plunged it into one of the beasts that landed on deck. The fight ended quickly. Too quickly.
"What's happening to the skies?"
Biggs muttered.
"We've never seen monsters like this flying so high."
Cecil didn't answer. He stared ahead as Baron's castle appeared in the distance, glowing with torchlight. The throne room was silent save for the echo of footsteps. Cecil knelt before the king.
Your Majesty, the mission is complete. The crystal is secured.
The king's eyes, once kind, were now like polished stone.
And yet you return with questions.
Cecil kept his gaze low.
Your orders were carried out. But the Mycedians, they were helpless. They offered no resistance. Why must we take their crystal by force?
A pause. Then,
Do you question my judgment, Cecil?
the temperature in the room seemed to drop. Guards shifted at the edges of the chamber.
No, Your Majesty.
Cecil said, voice tight.
Then perhaps you are no longer fit to command the Red Wings.
Cecil looked up.
What?
You will be reassigned. There is a task that requires less airship and more humility. You will travel on foot to the village of Mist and deliver this ring. That is all.
A steward stepped forward, presenting a velvet pouch. Cecil hesitated, then bowed.
As you command.
Beside him, a figure stepped forward, blonde, armored in silver and brimming with barely contained fury.
"This is madness,"
Kane said.
"Cecil has served you with loyalty, and you treat him like a common errand boy."
You forget yourself, Dragoon.
The king warned. Kane bit back a retort, then turned to Cecil.
"I'll accompany you. Someone has to keep your brooding in check."
The king waved them away.
Go, and do not return until the task is done.
Outside the castle gates, the two warriors prepared to depart. The night was quiet, but something simmered beneath it. Resentment, confusion, fear.
You didn't have to come.
Cecil said. Kane shrugged.
"You think I'd let you wander into the wilderness alone with nothing but your feelings? Besides,"
he glanced skyward,
"something's not right in Baron."
They left before dawn, heading west into the mountains. For hours, they moved in silence, the weight of recent events pressing down like fog.
"What do you think's in the ring?"
Kane asked.
I don't know,
Cecil replied.
but it feels wrong.
They reached the misty mountains by nightfall. The path narrowed, flanked by cliffs and trees. Mist clung to their boots. Halfway through the pass, a wall of vapor thickened into form, a creature of fog and fury. The Mist Dragon. Cecil and Cain drew weapons, instincts sharpened by countless battles. But the dragon was different. It shimmered with sadness, and its body flickered with every swing they made. Each blow scattered it into vapor, only for it to reform. Finally, with a cry of steel and magic, they struck the final blow. The dragon howled and dissolved into mist that blanketed the path ahead. When the fog cleared, they saw the village. Mist was quiet, too quiet. Small houses dotted the hillside, smoke curling from chimneys. Children played in the dirt, but something gnawed at the edges of the air, an unease that mirrored the one in Cecil's chest. They stepped into the village square. Then the ring began to glow. Cecil pulled it from his pouch.
Tane, something's wrong.
Too late. A pulse of magic burst from the ring, flaring like firelight. Glyphs spun in the air. And then, flame. Buildings erupted into fire. Screams pierced the silence. Villagers ran in terror as the magic consumed their homes. It was a summoning spell, one meant not to protect, but to destroy. Cecil dropped the ring, horror dawning in his eyes.
No.
Among the ruins, a small girl stood. Her hair was green. Her eyes were wild with grief.
You killed them!
She whispered. Cain lowered his spear.
We didn't mean to.
You killed my mother!
She screamed. A pulse of energy shot from her hands. The earth cracked beneath them. Summoning magic, pure and uncontrolled, lashed the sky. Titan, Lord of Earth, answered. The mountain roared. The ground split. The world fell away. Cecil awoke, coughing, covered in dust. Rocks lay all around him. The mountain path was destroyed, collapsed entirely. Cain was gone. The girl lay unconscious nearby. He crawled to her side, checked her breathing. Alive. He looked back toward the mountains, toward the land now cut off by rubble and guilt. He looked at the girl. Everything had changed. Thanks for listening to Beat by Beat. If you enjoyed this episode, leave us a review and share it with a fellow adventurer. New episodes drop weekly. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts and join us as we bring more epic quests to life, one bit at a time.